In any case, to kill some time before that, we are going to discuss the Eurovision 2025 betting odds from the top to the bottom, give our opinions, and get yours. Are you ready? Let's do this! Only good vibes from the people. You guys, the bookies' runaway favorite is, of course, Sweden. This is Kai. I want to start with Deppin. Tell us, is Kai winning the Eurovision Song Contest?
I think they're good enough to win. I just don't think they're a runaway favorite. I think that they're going to be really challenged, and I think that it's going to be really slim margins with tonight's victory. That's what I think. It's funny, when I have a microphone, I get so formal.
I know.
What about Kai do you think makes it worthy of being near the top? Oh, we have
there
Kai
it
playing.
is.
We have Kai playing. I should say that we'll get our video blocked on YouTube, sadly. So maybe we should crank it down real low. Oh, we just played. Here we go. Are you feeling Kai? Sweden song, yes? Is this your winner? Okay, very good.
You know what? I actually think this is really strong. I think it's strong in a very non-threatening way. And I think that's what Eurovision, yeah, you have surprise. Emily de Forest, very inoffensive, very sort of scaled back. But she actually won the whole thing. I think this could do the same.
I think inoffensive is a good word. It's very family friendly. In a year with many hyper-sexualized acts, I think a lot of people might gravitate towards something that's more in the middle in terms of it's entertaining, it's not too OTT, etc., etc. Suzanne.
I don't love Sweden. No, I don't love Sweden's song. I think it's hokey, it's fun, it's catchy, but it takes me back for some reason to Circus Mircus in 22 and Estonia last year, and I wasn't a fan of either of those songs, and yeah, it falls into that type of style for me. Staging, however, is wonderful, and watching the performance, I feel like I'm sitting in a beautiful forest, so that was excellent. So you all probably want to like throw things at me now, but I don't love Sweden.
Do you? Well, we love all countries, so maybe...
Well, we love all countries. I don't love this act. How about that?
Thank you so much.
I'm not sure that's better.
Do you think the bookies are relying on history and precedent? Are they saying Sweden always does well, and because it's a tight year, maybe we just put them at the top?
No, the crowd seems to be going wild over Sweden.
William, do you think...
Dave Fielding, front row.
Thank you. The split between, if you look at it between jury and televote, so I can see it winning the televote, can it get enough jury to win the whole thing?
Well, we have a great case study of that from Melody Festival and Sweden's national selection. We all thought Måns Zelmerlöw was going to run away with it, right? Sleek, polished, black, drama, fame, it was expensive. And then it only won the jury vote by 1 point, which is so razor thin. I think that we should remember jurors are not just music people. Jurors are TV producers. Oftentimes these jurors are choreographers, or maybe they're simply a bureaucrat who works at the TV station. All of these people vote, and they vote for different reasons, and that could just be TV production. And Sweden is excellent production, right? You go on a journey from the forest to the sauna to like the laser rave in the forest. I'm living for this.
Listening to the...
Oh, Suzanne, honey.
I think I'm okay.
Oh.
I'm just so used to you yelling because she's my sister.
They shared that they come in with a brand new frozen sausage for that first image every day, and I'm like, wow, that is some serious detail tied to the production.
Yesterday in our interview here, they were saying that the sausage is freshly cooked before they go on.
Well, it came frozen, and they keep it frozen until that day, and they want that perfect opening shot, I guess, with the freshly cooked sausage. I just want to know, do they eat that sausage afterwards? I mean, it's still warm 3 minutes later.
Are we talking about food? The other thing we need to remember is that actually it is so memorable and it's got a really good hook. And you don't need to understand Swedish to join in the fun. You know, we're talking about, you know, that's paired against something really highly operatic and visually sort of like, you watch it, you don't necessarily join in the fun, right? And then there's Erika Vikman. For those who haven't seen it, you're like, wow, wow, wow. Mm-hmm. You know, there's something just really universal about Sweden. It's got that universal quality. I'm not necessarily saying that it's my favorite, but it's amongst my favorite.
Yeah. You want to talk about universal? Everybody loves dogs. And Ireland didn't qualify. Oh. Sorry.
Sorry. Rest in peace, like a party. Now we should move on. The other favorite from the bookies, if this is a two-horse race, is Austria. They are in JJ, Wasted Love, black and white performance, all monochrome. I thought that in the final 20 seconds. Wasted Love, yes. I was thinking that in the final 20 seconds, it would turn into like a Technicolor explosion, right? The big lighthouse would turn into a disco ball and start shooting flames. That did not happen. Instead, the storm just gets very violent, and JJ is throwing his body all over the stage. He is on this boat, it's violent, but it really captures your attention. And then you only see color when he's done, and he's like, thank you, you're up, which is quite sweet. So there is a reveal, although it comes after the song. And I guess they're trying to like tease the secret. We do have color in Austria, we do. And they save it for after the fact. Do you guys think that the black and white is an asset? Will this draw people in, or will it put people off?
I think it's very artistic. I don't think that's the strongest visual interpretation of that song. And I think you can start with black and white and then transition into color, especially during the club segment of the track.
Yeah.
To keep it all in black and white, I don't know. I think the song is super strong, and I obviously loved it coming into the competition. And unlike many Eurovision fans here who plugged into every rehearsal, well, I didn't. I just saw the live shows. So it was the first time I saw it on, when was it, Tuesday?
Last night.
Oh, last night. So I saw it for the first time last night, and yeah, it didn't, yeah. I love it still, please don't get me wrong. I love it, Eurovision fans, the next thing. Don't hate me, please. I love it, but it didn't push me further. Actually, it just, I'm just like, really, like, wow.
Well, this one has grown on me. I think the black and white is very fitting because it is very black and white. It's about wasted love. And in his heart, there is no gray area. Now, you get to the very end and you see the lighthouse, and that is the beacon of hope. But it's not until the end that there is the hope. I especially love the overhead shot, and I feel like I'm just feeling all of the elements with him, the elements of the weather, the element of his broken heart, and it really draws me in.
And when it becomes a techno rave, what do you feel?
I don't think I was paying attention at that point.
Okay. And what about you? Could Austria win? Show of hands. Okay, yes. This is okay. I think the jury will really get behind this because his voice is just next level. Opera songs have often done very well. Australia, 2019, she won her semi-final. Alina Nachayeva, Estonia, 2018, where did she place? Top 10? Top 5?
Well, if you don't
Top
remember...
5. Oh, top 10. Okay. So opera often does well, and typically the juries give a lot of support for that.
What about that Slovenia 2008? I mean, that's going to be my favorite pop opera track of all time.
So I don't remember that.
What? Does anybody remember that?
2007. Alexa got that.
Thank you
Oh,
so
she
much.
had the light on her hand,
2007,
like
yeah.
a tooth lightning device, and she was sort of.
Oh, she was fierce.
She was fierce. She was good. All right. Well, we move on. France is currently third favorite to win, and I should point out the bookies have them as blue, so their odds are improving. So the race is narrowing with France kind of galloping closer as we speak. She sings in a sandstorm on stage. The sand is actually ground cork. It's not actually sand. So they bought all this cork, like in a wine bottle of France. They ground it up. And she told me it was to convey the delicacy of life, you know? It's like it can just slip through your fingers. She lost her mother when she was very young. She's now a mother herself. So she's singing to her mother, updating her on her life. But she also talks to her daughter. So it's a very full circle moment, like sands through the hourglass. You know,
So are the days of our lives.
she opens holding the hourglass just to let you know this is about the passage of time, and then she drops it very quickly. It's really beautiful. It's very French. It is so French. Black dress. She said she wanted to wear lace because she's always worn lace. Since she was a child, her mother would dress her in lace, so it's very personal. And black, of course, because this is a song of life and death. So she wasn't going to wear hot pink, was she? And she also didn't want a color that would take away from the sand, she said. She said that if she wore a bright color, then the sand would be less impactful. But now it's very chic, very French, very black and beige. You know, this is a serious, sober song. Sweden is fun. It's lighthearted. It's the party. What's the counter to that? Something a bit more serious with a bit more meaning, something a bit deeper. So France, I mean, we'll talk about this later. I think Switzerland is my favorite French language ballad, but I think France is definitely gunning for those jury points. And because of the staging, it could get a lot of televote points too. Devin.
Thomas's placement is really pornographic. Can you move to... No, you move, please. No, perfect.
It's just there's a screen here in your head.
It's in between Suzanne's thighs.
Actually, I think it was in between your thighs.
But back to France and Louane. This is a family-friendly show. We're not on YouTube in our bedroom. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's really good. Ground cork, you said?
Ground cork.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Slipping through my fingers all the time. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Who loves France? Beautiful. It's really...
Y'all love everything.
Yeah, I know. I've seen the same hands up for all the acts. Who loves Ireland? Oh, same hands.
United Kingdom.
You all do love it.
Yeah, but I think this is also a testament that we love many entries, and you know, sometimes you come into Eurovision having a clear winner like Louane 2012, and sometimes like, you know, Basel 2025, you actually have 7. Because right now that's where I'm at. Like, yeah, I could broaden that list, you know, out of the top 3, and I'm sure we will go through the others. And France is amongst them. I think France is very sophisticated, it's got quality, it's visually arresting, and, you know, that full circle of motherhood and matriarchy, you know, it has resonance for a lot of people.
The staging is beautiful. She's really telling a story. And at one point, the cork starts to move in such a way that it's almost dancing, rather like a dance of life. I think everyone feels her passion and can certainly relate to the concept of loss, the concept of losing a parent. I think for anyone who has experienced that rite of passage, it's probably a little bit different and hits a little more personally. Just beautiful staging, beautiful voice. It's not one of my favorites, but you know. Then again, if you looked at my ranking video, I didn't like anything this year. It kind of seems like.
Except Ireland.
Except Ireland.
And we should point out that you don't have to speak French to get this song, because Maman, you can figure it out real quick. And then the rest of the words, you know, she tells the story through her body, through her pain, through her expression, so yes. All right, the bookies' 4th favorite at the moment is the Netherlands. Claude, say Claude. Very radio friendly, picking up those votes from Belgium, from France. good vibes. He, of course, has a very moving backstory. An asylum seeker from the Democratic Republic of Congo, where more than 7 million people are currently displaced because of decades of war, where more than 1.8 million, I think, have died since 1998. It's one of the world's worst humanitarian crises, which no one talks about. And when he was 9 years old, he was uprooted, essentially, from his homeland to the Netherlands, had never been in school before, ever, did not speak Dutch, and suddenly he's in a Dutch classroom learning in this new language. And he said that the song, it's not a cliche, because it's his story. His mother always said, it'll be fine, there's always something to be grateful for. And it sounds cliche, but he said, no, it's true. I have security, I have safety, I have water, I have food, things that all of us just completely take for granted. And so this song escapes cliche. This is his story. And I want him to do well. When you know the backstory, you're like, you need to get top 3, you need to get up there. But I think even if you don't know that, it's a sweet and tender story, Devin.
Yeah, I echo all of that. But I think Eurovision also has several different approaches. Like, I feel like as radio entries, it was like, close to the top for me. I think it was Greece and the Netherlands that really stood out for me. Seeing it visualized, I don't know, I think I would have told that story quite differently. I'm glad it's him. I'm glad it's one of the favorites. But again, it hasn't pushed me forward. Can I just mention, Armenia, I didn't care for. Now I love it. And that's what I want Eurovision to do for me, right? I want Eurovision to take me from, and now I'm at Eurovision week, I'm like, oh my God, surprise me, push me further. And it's not always entries that I didn't like that do that. Some entries in previous editions I have liked coming into the contest, and then I see on stage and I'm like, oh, I love it even more. But this year I'm finding a lot of those are taking me in the opposite direction, Netherlands being one of them. I'm so happy he's here, I'm so happy we're talking about him, I'm so happy he's one of the favourites to win, but it has dipped for me.
I'm going to piggyback off of what Devin said. Armenia was my 37 coming into Basel this year. I'm not sure where Armenia sits for me now. However, it is much higher than 37 due to being drawn in by the staging. He just looks so hot, covered in mud on that treadmill, y'all. But back to Claude.
Can I pause for 1 second? Armenia is currently dead last with the bookies, odds of 500 to 1 to win.
So I was right when I was sitting in Atlanta in my bed, ranking them. Okay, back to Claude in the Netherlands. So Claude was my number 3. Every time this song came onto Spotify, I'm in my car just bopping to it, really just loved his voice. So it's very radio friendly, right? But I'm also with Devin on this in that the staging is lacking something. However, when you look at Claude and his smile and his eyes, the gratitude and heart that he exudes are just evident for all to see. So I wish him well.
Yeah, who's behind the wardrobe as well? Really,
Is that a hologram?
I just don't get it. It's just this satin sheath. I don't
So
get
he
it.
told us that he was going for a warm color, a soothing color, because that kind of fits with the melody of the song. The thing that, how do I say this? Do you watch Graham Norton or Jonathan Ross, if you're from the UK, late at night, a late night talk show, and they have the guest acts come and perform? His set looks like a late night TV show, and they have a cut to the musical act, so it doesn't feel as grand as some of the other performances. Of course, he's going for something intimate deliberately, right? He's trying to share his story. At the end, you see the adult him dancing against an LED image of what's meant to be the child that he was. And that's quite sweet. It doesn't end with a bang or an explosion or a pyro curtain. It ends very slowly. So he's going in a different direction. And I think that really helps him pop out. Actually, in the grand final, who does he come after? Does anyone know off the top of their heads? I was just looking at this. I'm gonna look it up, because the running order really made sense.
I think it's Latvia, Netherlands, and Finland.
Latvia, Netherlands, Finland. Thank you so much. Latvia giving us world folk music, very sexy women in bodysuits with hair glued to their bodies. And then after Finland, big explosion. So having this sweet song in the middle, I think he's really going to stand out in the recap. In any case, we move on with the bookies. The 5th favorite to win, 1, 2, 3, 4, is Finland. Applause, applause, applause. Now, I echo you. If I had a free hand, I'd be clapping right now, too. This felt like the winner of semifinal 1 to me. It closed the show. This was not the Eurovision Song Contest. This was an arena tour starring Erika Vikman, right? Other pieces...
Semi-final 2.
I am so tired. Thank you so much. That was only last night. Oh my God. But it's like other acts have a lot going on. You know, there are lots of patterns and colors and dancers and movement. But this is Erika. She has to own it. She is the star. It says that on the LED. They start with her face. She's got, you know, she looks like a fancy Muppet. At the beginning you see like the decoration, the face, the black, the gold, and you feel a connection to her. And you're like, okay, I'm going to her concert. Then she's performing, she's walking down the runway. She's the only artist, or one of the few artists, who literally works every inch of the runway. You always hear RuPaul say, you worked every inch of the runway. Erika actually is, left to right, back and forth. She's owning the stage. You just get sucked into her world. And I don't think it's too sexual. I don't think it's, people say, oh, this is too raunchy. No, it's actually quite elevated. It's sort of, she is embodying a female Freddie Mercury. And it's almost like, I don't view the sexuality here as aggressive. Whereas some people worried after Finland it might be too much. No. Not too much, never enough. And then there's that final shot where she's on the microphone and she rises into the air and the sparks go off. It just all builds, doesn't it? It builds to this climactic moment, which will look great in the recap. It's a journey in 3 minutes, and I honestly feel like she's been forgotten in recent weeks, and now that we're here on the ground, there's this momentum shifting, and she's slowly rising. I think she's one to watch for the win. Devin.
Yeah, I mean, I echo all of that. I think it's actually quite amazing. It's not that different to what happened at UMK and blew me away back then. Has it been sustained? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, she's part of the conversation of victory, right? I think that Finland is a massive contender to win the whole thing. You know, you need to change the chronology because you say so much, like you've literally poached all my points. So,
William, maybe you should let Devin talk first.
oh my god, I was only joking.
The next round for themselves. The next round.
I was only joking.
You're hogging the mic.
No, I was only joking. But no. I think Finland is really good, and I think it's visually arresting, and you know, she has a lot of fans. The whole sexuality thing and the female empowerment, I think she straddles the line really well in the sense that she's also like this queer icon. Men also love her. Straight men thinking, Danny, David, Fielding. So I think Finland's good. Yeah.
I love this song. I have loved it since right after UMK. It was one of the first I reacted to this year. There was a lot of pole dancing, or at least pole dancing is what I remember from UMK. And I think she's toned it down a bit to appeal to a broader audience, because I got multiple comments. Oh my God, you're talking about sex. This is a child-friendly show. And I feel like she probably got a lot of those same comments and has toned it down some, but there's still something just very, very sexy about it without it being over-the-top sexualized.
Yeah, it's a fine line, and she does get it right. She really does.
I thought the video was too much.
Yeah.
But then seeing it live, it was more, probably wrong with tongue-in-cheek. I don't know if it's the right thing. Sorry. Yeah, I thought the video was too much, but seeing it live on UMK just brought a huge smile to my face, and it went right to the top of my scoreboard. And it's just the way she performs it live, I think, is amazing. I don't think it is too over the top, but yeah, I thought the video was.
Yes, I feel like in the live performances, you get a sense of her X factor. It transmits in some way, whereas in a video, I mean, videos are always processed, and I mean, I don't know, even when you listen on Spotify, the music is processed, but live, she just channels something that you can't define. It's really lovely.
I also feel like if she didn't have a music video and this was the only cut you had of her, it really does stand on its own, and it really does cement her artistry. I think it's very faithful to what was visualized in the official music video, but at the same time, she's giving us something different while still keeping the essential elements of that. Further to that, it has very strong fashion moments. There's a moment in the backdrop where the strobe lights are flashing and it's like, Erika, You know, it just pops. Like, that is like a freeze frame moment. It's very good. I think her weakest point is that they are catchier songs. This will appeal to Eurovision fans, right? We're loyalists, like we know it inside out, it's under the microscope. For a lot of people tuning in on the night, they'll remember her, but they may not remember the song. And you always have somebody at a voting party that says, it's the song we're voting for, they're your favorite song, not what you see on TV. Yeah, so, but I think it's in the running. I think it could also win.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Devin, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The sixth favorite is Israel, and per what you just said, you may lead the discussion.
No.
Conveniently, right? Yeah. I hadn't seen semi-final, any of the semi-finals until the live shows, so this really blew me out of the water. I liked the song coming into the contest, and when I saw it on Thursday, I was like, wow, I was really, really impressed by it. And the thing is, with Israel, I haven't seen anything at all, right? You know, so we've been to a number of pre-parties and a number of engagements, so this was really fresh out of the can. And I think that underexposure actually, it peaked at the right time for me, because this really then started taking flight.
Last night, did anyone else notice that the sheer streamers caught onto the staircase?
Yeah, it was
And
so good.
I was so worried that as she walked down the stairs that she was going to leave her top with her because it seemed like it was stuck. However, I don't think that happened. So, I just have to comment on her complexion because she has one of the most perfect complexions I've ever seen. But it's a beautiful classic ballad, and you can just see how much it means to her through her facial expressions as she's singing. I don't know that this is the year for a classic ballad to win, but I think it's beautiful.
In the rehearsal, the night before, there were vocal issues. There was one big warble, but then during the semi-final, it greatly improved. That warble was not there. We discussed this in our reaction to the grand final running order, which we will publish after this. It's already uploaded. But in the running order, Israel is performing fourth after Estonia and before Lithuania. And the Israel-Lithuania back-to-back is interesting because they're both sort of sober songs, right? We start, the opening act is Norway, Dance. Then we move to Luxembourg, Dance. Then you have Tommy Cash, which is sort of slapstick upbeat. And then there's this tonal shift. We're suddenly in the Israeli ballad, and then we have the Lithuanian angsty rock song. And this is the only time in the running order where you sort of have two, not angsty, but two sober, emotional, kind of serious songs one after the other. And then we pick back up and things get happy again. And I do wonder, will that hurt them? Because they both have gray colorways, don't they? Gray, white, white to gray. In any case, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th favorite. We move on to Switzerland. This is Zoe Matt Voyage. The odds are 40 to 1. We just traveled somewhere else, y'all. Who loves Switzerland? The whole room, almost. The whole room, almost. This, I still think, could be the song that the jury gravitates to. Over the past 2 years, you had Loreen getting all them jury votes. You had Nemo getting all them jury votes. Jurors have to put their name next to something. They don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want to feel shame. So sometimes they lean safe, but often they lead towards vocal mastery, right? You would never be embarrassed to vote for Switzerland this year. You just would not. It could be a runaway jury winner. I can already feel the shade coming from Devin here.
No. But I think that there is a choice. I just think that there is a choice. I think the French entry, it could also grab the jury vote. I think the Israeli entry could also grab the jury vote. I mean, that's in, 3 languages? And you don't feel the transitions. You know, it's like she's just singing is just like, I don't think, I mean, the Swiss entry is good. It's very good, in fact. I just don't see a clear front runner for jury vote.
I think this song is timeless in a way that other ballads are not. This could be from 2025, it could be from 1965. It just has that timeless quality. Whereas the other ballads don't give me that longevity in the same way. I also think the staging for Switzerland is just next level. It's like she is Katy Perry floating in space. You know, you just see all black, you see some phone lights behind. It's just stunning. Suzanne.
I hope Switzerland does not win because I cannot afford to spend another week in Switzerland. I say that in jest, of course. I'm being serious about it being expensive. But it is a beautiful song. It's staged incredibly well. There's just a very simplistic elegance to the staging, and I, of course, love the dramatic ending.
The bookies' next favorite is Estonia. That is Estonia, Tommy Cash. I just have to tell you, if you did not watch our interview here at the House of Helvetia, please go on YouTube and watch it, because he was so lovely. Yeah. And everyone has built up on social media, oh, he's a terrible person. He was honestly among my favorite artists we spoke with. So kind, so generous. He had a busy schedule. He was not meant to stay longer than 10 minutes. And I said, final question. And he's like, no, I like the vibe. I love the people. I love the energy. Yeah. He is a kind soul. So just putting that out there. Espresso Macchiato, who is a fan? Again, they love everything. Yes. Do you think this could win?
No.
Okay, we're in a safe space. Devin, you go first.
I think I like him more than I like the song.
Yes.
You know, I don't. Yeah. I like him, and he was backstage, and he has time for everybody. I think that's really compelling. That's just really nice. Like, he's really pro Eurovision. Somebody that came to the House of Helvetia dressed up as Tommy Cash. And...
Sasha.
Oh, I was sitting here and I was like, oh, there's Tommy. So like, everyone welcome Tommy Cash. It was a lookalike. And so we had to do it again.
Yeah, but he's really sweet. If you guys ever run into him, like, he's got time for everybody. I think that's just wonderful. It's one of the reasons why I like this contest so much, because, you know, some of my favorite idols, getting to meet them, and people who come into Eurovision, it's a different fabric, isn't it? It's just nice people, and Tommy Cash is a great person. Espresso Macchiato, I don't even drink coffee at the best of times, but yeah, it's not my,
This song.
It wasn't you.
They weren't laughing at you, honey. They were laughing
Oh, you
at
can laugh at me. It's okay. I laugh at me all the time. So do they. So I enjoy Espresso Macchiato. I've got to tell you that I was kind of put off by Tommy's persona, and I'm like, I don't want this guy to win. I don't want him to do well, because I felt like he rather came across as a bit of a jerk. However, that was rectified the day that he visited here at the House of Helvetia, and I now like the song again. I don't know about you all, but for me, when I listen to the lyrics or hear the story of the artist or see how they treat other people, it really impacts my like, or I see green dress in the background saying yes, it impacts how much I like the song. And because I thought he was a jerk, I was like, oh no, not for me. But then when I realized it's just a persona and he's actually a really nice and gracious guy, I'm like, okay, I like the song again. But it's catchy. I think it's one that we're all going to remember. And I am certainly going to think of 2025 as the year of food, from espresso macchiato to poison cake to milkshakes.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And only the macchiato made the final.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, everybody's got to have coffee, except for Devin, who doesn't really drink it. We don't need the milkshake. We don't need poison cake, although, you know, I do believe in karma. So, back to you.
We should point out this is in the Italian language. Italian language songs do very well at Eurovision. Maybe that will give this a bump. Also, I live in South London, and there's this cafe, and I walked by, and they had, you know, those little boards they write messages on. They wrote, more espresso, less depresso. I was like, you listen to Tommy Cash. I feel like non-Eurovision fans, people, you know, all of us are stuck in a bubble, right? We're sitting here whispering things to each other no one understands. People on the outside, I feel like this will have appeal. It's slapstick, it's funny, it's, they have a plane that bounces. It's so cute. I don't know, I just feel like it's very warm, and it sounds like nothing else. Unfortunately for him, he has been put into third in the running order. So he's very early. That was a producer's choice. He's after Luxembourg, which is more upbeat, and before Israel. So he might be forgotten. So, yes. We move on. The bookies' 9th favorite to win, it's Albania. We have a gentleman from Kosovo in the back. Erika, hello. Erika, please tell us, can Albania win?
We really want to.
Yes.
I mean, Tirana is way cheaper than Basel, so why not?
Why not, indeed? Now, there's so much to say about this. She's performing last in the grand final. They are, rather. Shkodra Electronic have been put last by producers. I will be sticking around for that one. She has presence. She has so much presence. She walks out there, and although she's a tiny woman, she fills the stage. She has no props. It doesn't matter. She fills the stage. Kola, the guy she sings with, and I say this with love, gives me serial killer vibes. But we've not seen that.
Well, I mean, this is a man who buried his wife alive in a wall.
Indeed. If you have not heard the legend of Zorafa, forgive me. Rozafa. The legend says that a castle kept falling down. A wise man told the owner, you need to bury your wife in the wall of the castle or it's going to fall. She agrees to be buried alive in the walls of the castle as long as they leave a hole for her right breast, her right arm, and her right leg so she can still nurture her child. Okay, a woman's sacrifice, Humpty. And the castle allegedly, it's in Shkodra where they're from, allegedly milk bleeds from the walls to this day. We cannot confirm if that is true, but that is the legend. And so her dress, you'll notice her dress, they outline the right breast with sequins, the nipple has a sapphire on it. There's so much symbolism in this. But all of that to the side, even if you don't know that, you feel the fire, you feel the presence, you feel Shkodra Electronic, David.
Yeah, I really like this. I was in Tirana the week that it was released. I was hanging out with Erdi. And yeah, it was immediate for me. I thought it was really good. Albania's had mixed fortunes at Eurovision. You know, that's the other thing as well about Eurovision, right? It's not a level playing field. Some countries just have it so easy, and others have to fight for, you know, some acknowledgement. And Albania, unfortunately, is one of those countries. And this is good. This is good. I can see this comfortably taking up a top 10 position. You talk about Erika Vikman working that runway. She does too. Beatrice works it really good. And it's just, and it's folk, right? People who love Eurovision for bringing cultural heritage, you know, into the contest. This does that. This is distinctly Albanian, but there's also something quite fashion about it.
I really love this song, and I think that Albania is my 2025 winner, personally. Ireland didn't go through, otherwise I would have been all about Ireland. But this cut, for me, again, it goes back to having conversations with the artists and reading the story and understanding the lyrics and what it means to them. I love the way she fills up an entire stage. I love the story of Rozafa. I love how stoic Kola comes across as he's singing. But when you talk to him, he's not really stoic. He's a little bit quieter, like it's her show. But I do love how stoic he comes across, and it's just a beautiful song, and I would be so excited for them to place top 3.
Oh, wow, that's good.
I would love for them to win. Who wants Albania?
Who thinks Albania will come top 5? I love. We should point out, in our interview, Beatrice said that she wrote the song in the mountains, away from the parties, away from the city, because she lives somewhere remote. And then she sent the demo to Kola, and she said he imbued it with sadness. He gave it more emotion. And so I think behind the stoicism, there is a kind of a maelstrom inside. There's a lot going on with dear.
Who likes strong women? Thank you so much, Ernie.
Oh, Ernie, yes.
I mean, yeah, just what you said about Beatrice writing the song. She was inspired too much of writing the song of a perfect world, as we can see in the lyrics. And when she sent the demo to Cole, he did the opposite. So he actually, when the song is dark, as he's like, let's say, serial killer, he actually grabs us in the reality of the world. He takes Beatrice out of the perfect world and brings to the real world. So that's the whole vibe that goes on in the song, actually.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Now we turn to the bookies' 10th favorite. It's the United Kingdom. Okay. Wave that flag. Anyone else from the UK? Yeah. We recognize, yeah, hello. So I've got to say, I think the bookies are playing games with your money. I really do. Of course, it's 125 to 1 to win. So just for some perspective, Estonia and Albania were both at 50 to 1, and then the gap widens to the United Kingdom 125 to 1. So this is very far on the outside. I must say, I was slightly disappointed by what we saw during the semi-final. I like the colors. I think the dresses work. I think the singers have incredible voices, and they're very playful, giving me a sort of Coyote Ugly meets Bridgerton vibe. However, the stage looks empty. You have a big chandelier, giving me Blackpool vibes, you know. No, but it does seem like something you'd see at a drag show. It's like a prop that you don't have the most expensive budget, the biggest budget, but you want to do something colorful. I guess what I'm trying to say is this. Love the singers, but the staging lets them down.
That love. It's the however bit you need to pay attention to, guys. You know, that's where the real tea is there. Go on.
I just felt like the stage looked empty. And whereas Beatrice, even though she doesn't have many props from Albania, she filled the stage. I felt like the UK almost disappeared on the stage. And it was repetitive, it was very loud, and yeah, I don't want to say toilet break because I would not use the toilet during this because I want to support my girls, I want to support the UK. But this is not winning the Eurovision Song Contest, did it?
I don't think it's winning, but I think it'll do well. I think it's really well done, actually. I think that it's very girly. There's something really joyful about their world. There's a very sisterly vibe. I like when they look at each other and they're like, what the hell? You know, like, we're here. I don't know, it's got a lot of joy to be for me, and the song it's very memorable. And if all you remember is what the hell just happened, it's a meme in its own right. I don't know. I think the UK have done really well. I think they've done very well in a very non-threatening way. They're not like, oh, you know, we're coming for Eurovision. It's like, no, we really want to just have fun at Eurovision. I think sometimes that's the approach you need to have.
They're definitely having fun. They're laughing, dancing, smiling all the way. I look forward to seeing something in the West End that they are performing in together. I feel like the staging for what the hell just happened looks kind of cheap. Like, the chandelier is just too small. And then the platform they stand on, it looks like a misshapen seashell of some sort. It just looks really, really cheap. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think the chandelier looks like a lopsided cake at certain moments. And at the end, when they stick their head through the heart,
That's cute.
that is cute. That's an endearing finish. Do we have a question or a comment here? Front row.
A comment. The BBC license fee got frozen, so they had to cut the budget.
I think creativity can sort of bridge the gap. You know, I always cite Moldova 2018. They had a budget of 5,000 euros for their stage show and they came top 10. I think creativity is the great equalizer. Yeah. So while I do sympathize with the Big Five country having
Well, he's talking about Doritos. You know they spend way more than that.
They confirmed it was 5,000 euros.
No way!
Somebody remind me which song this was? Was it the sand song?
I can't sing, but they had the doors and they were all popping out of the doors.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
just a set of
yeah.
doors. Yeah. In any case.
That was Lisbon, right?
Now, I want to talk about the 11th favorite, with odds of 100 and...
We did have one question.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I just want to say that the UK this season was such a grower for me because the first time I heard that song, I was like, yeah, basic, nothing spectacular. But then I've seen them live in Amsterdam, and like, they're having so much fun. It's such a great song. Yeah, it's like a basic poppy, Katy Perry type something, but it's such a nice song, and I love them so much.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Let's actually, on that note, do a show of hands. We'll go around the room. Who thinks this can be top 5, the UK? Be brave, be brave. Top 10. Top 15?
Left-hand side, yeah, definitely left-hand side.
Now, who thinks this will end 15 to 20? And then who thinks this could be bottom 5? This is a tough game, y'all. This is a tough game. All right, well, we move on to Malta. They are the bookies' 11th favorite, Serving Cunt.
That's no longer the name of the song. It is Serving.
She is still bold and extravagant and serving song in Maltese. Now, this is an interesting one. I feel like we often talk about outsiders, the acts that can surprise. This has written a wave of, controversy, of headlines, and we're here finally. Do you think all of the hype, people are saying this is the dark horse to win, is that still realistic?
I absolutely love it. I just think it's so good. And when I saw it on stage, I'm like, wow. I love how it doesn't even, she feels like an integral act to me. You know how we brought in Justin Timberlake, we brought Madonna in, with like some big name, it's like Mariana Conte, and she comes and she serves her thing. Wow, I was really blown away by it. And it's a very clever use of human resources, because it felt like there were more than 6 people. 1 minute she's writing, next minute she's bouncing on the ball, she's doing this, like, there's a lot happening, and it's kind of almost out of breath. But I think it's brilliant. And you know what? In that top 10 list, I'll push her further up, personally.
I feel like I've gone to a carnival. And as I enter the carnival, I'm going through her lips. Like, did you ask her if those lips were actually mirrored after hers?
Indeed. She said that they are modeled after her lips. She had to put her mouth in one of those dental cast things.
Love it. So I feel like that's the entrance to this fun carnival. And one of the last rides is, the bouncing ball, the yoga ball. And I just want to stay and have fun. And I want to go into the mirrored room with Mariana and look at myself in the mirror with her. And I think this is higher than the bookies think it is.
I think so too. So one other thing I really love about, and this is so typically what me to Malta, I love how in Malta is one of those countries where everybody can sing, right? So just being at Eurovision, it's a big deal, but it's also not a big deal because it's like, oh, blah, 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 you've never heard of, can sing 100 times better than, it's like, oh, who's this person? But there was a moment where Mariana Conte was just like, the BBs were going on the track, and then she's like, what? I just thought she did that part for the Maltese people, like, okay, hold my mind, I'm really gonna give you that vocal. Love this so much, love it.
I also love the personal journey that she has been on. I was on the jury in Malta, and I gave this 12 points. And the day we arrived, my cab driver said, oh, there's this girl with this song, and he was body shaming her. He was saying awful things all over the newspapers, all over social media. After the semifinal in Malta, people were being really nasty to her. And she was like, you know what, this is gonna be fuel for my sleigh. So she put those tweets on her background in the final in Malta. She was like, I'm gonna own this. On the red carpet here, the turquoise carpet rather, her dress was made of newspaper headlines, things people had said about her. Her music video where, she was fat shamed, she showed herself eating, she was the table of food. She co-opted everything thrown at her and she made it into something beautiful. And that's the best way to respond to hate. Diva was not down. Diva was rising. Now, honey, I can't read that. That text is so small.
Who thinks Mariana's beautiful?
We're just getting a message from our producer right now. He's holding it up.
Yes.
Oh, yes, 20 minutes until Clement comes, so we will go for 5 more minutes. Why don't we open the floor to questions? Do you guys have thoughts? Do you have, and Thomas or Erdi will come to you.
Thank you. I want to ask something. Do you think that we can have like a big surprise this year, since we're my country, we're dead last in the odds, Portugal, and we qualified? Don't ask me how, but we did it, which I'm very happy for. So, do you think we can have like a very big surprise in the final, someone that we're not expecting, and maybe also a surprise winner?
This year reminds me of Eurovision 2011 in Dusseldorf, where you had a rotating cast of about 12 favorites: France, Ireland, UK, Azerbaijan, we could go on and on and on. And the night of, people were surprised when Azerbaijan won. Sweden is still the front runner and the one to chase. But you know, I don't think it's as clear-cut as everyone says. I really do think there could be a surprise. Of course, surprises are not just who wins. It's also further down the scoreboard, and Portugal's a great example. There were very few downbeat, slow songs in that semi-final. I think there were two, Slovenia and Portugal, and Portugal went through. It was a different vibe. Not everyone who watches Eurovision wants a Eurobop, right? You do have older viewers, you have younger viewers who are more serious and have an old soul. You know, I think we sometimes make things too simple. Oh, everyone wants a bop. No, some people want to embrace sun-kissed Portugal. Do you have thoughts? Surprise winners?
Yeah, I think so too. And I think that's healthy to have, actually. You know, because like you can run, you know, you can do dissertations on every entry and it's like, oh, we forgot, oh, don't worry, that one's on. Speaking of that, actually. So in semi-final one, we watched it with Jedward, and they were so crazy for Iceland. And you know their energy is like really full on. I had to say, there's still 14 other songs to go. You need to start finding other favorites. So it's really strange when then Iceland qualified, but that's Eurovision, right? It's not always who you think or what, and songs impact people differently. And do you want to share Bernardo's story on Portugal and how he supported, like, and then, like it was a real surprise, he doesn't, and then it was like a real surprise that, Portugal got through, and we were very happy for that. I think that was really good.
I just want to say I'm the only one on our team Tuesday evening who said that Portugal was going through.
Someone shouted Lithuania, and this is a great example. In the semi-final, were they in one or two? Two. So last night, these days run together. But it's interesting, in that semi-final they had Latvia, the United Kingdom, they had Ireland, and you do have to think about the math, right? So they were going to get 36 points straight away. Diaspora, yes, but also this song is the only one in its genre. It occupies a very unique position, and fans of this sort of Radiohead, angsty pop rock, they will love this. And I think the fact that nothing is remotely similar to this could help them. I could see this coming top 10. It's a shame that they're performing 5th, I believe, early in the show. If they were later, I think they'd climb even higher. Next question.
I'm after the running order. I'm a little bit worried about Germany because it's coming after Poland and before Greece. What did you think about Poland and then Germany?
Well, actually, visually, Poland has a green dragon. It has orange hues. It has high-impact body aerobics. It has a woman running across the stage. That vibe is very different from Germany, which is more underground club, Berlin at night, wearing black, very poppy rave. I think it's quite different from Poland. Even if they're both upbeat, you have to think visually as well as sonically. And then, who did you say was after? Greece. Well, my goodness, talk about a tonal shift. I mean, in the recap, Baller will pop out, actually. I think it's okay for Germany.
The German entry I've had, it's been a very torturous love affair. Because I really, really like it, but then I haven't liked the live versions of it. But now back in Basel, I think the live it's standing, it's standing. Because, when we talk about live, we only had that national final performance. I'm like, no, I can't watch this. I remember doing my Ruby Jury score, and I'd marked Germany really high because I'd done them as radio entries, and then I went to plug into the visuals, and I was like, I know, I have to mark this down, this is not. But now I think, and hearing it at the Euro, who's been to the Euro Club? Hearing it, it's it's got to be the floor filler of the century. It's so good, it's so good.
But same as Who the Hell is Edgar, and then...
Yeah, I'm a little bit scared. It's the who the hell is Edgar from this year?
You have better staging, I think. I do. I think that boombox is very high impact, and you're coming 15th, whereas they had to open the grand final. And also, this is a bit edgier. The German song, you know, a club song can also have an identity. This is like a German song, isn't it?
I just want to, no one's really talked about Poland today. You brought up Poland with regard to Germany, but no one's mentioning Poland anymore.
Last night on the Movie Blog's website, people were commenting that this is the only Slavic entry in the final, and they think that's going to get it a lot of love. On top of the fact it's incredible visually. Oh, and Ukraine, of course, forgive me. So, commenter, you were wrong. But
Movie blogs anyway.
But look, we do need to wrap up. So one final question, Erika. Front row, yeah.
Do you think that San Marino will get their best ever result this year?
San Marino versus Italy.
As in, will they beat Serhat to get their best ever result?
Will San Marino get its best result ever? Show of hands. Oh wow, the people are loving Tutta l'Italia. Interestingly, referencing Italy, and by extension Italian language, we've got Switzerland voting, we've got Italy voting. This song for me is, the staging's a hot mess. I'm struggling to access it. It's like, I don't know, I like the bubblegum moment, where, is it Venus de Milo blows a bubble?
I don't like the bubblegum moment.
Okay, it will
I
be
do
the
love
best
all
result.
the pink, as it just like kind of bleeds out onto the entire stage.
It feels empty to me, the stage.
I don't like the song. I just total candor there. That's where you and I, we were just on the same page, Green.
Yeah, I mean, what more is there to say? I was actually... Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
The issue for me with San Marino is a DJ does not sing, and so when he's miming the lyrics, I get really confused. I wish they had sort of integrated the dancers into the performance, not the dancers, the singers more centrally, because they are providing, you know, voice for the whole song.
In many ways, they've actually been taken out.
Yeah. Although in the national final, the mouths were covered, which was even more confusing. Now the mouths are exposed, so we know where that music's coming from. All right, but look, Clemen will be joining us in 12 minutes, so we need to do some setup. I just want to thank Suzanne and Devin for their insights.
I want to thank all of these folks for coming here day after day and spending time with us, because for me, it's really you all. There are different artists every year, but you folks come back year after year, and you're what makes this experience for me. So thank you.
Thank you. And just so you know, tomorrow is Saturday, the day of the grand final. The artists competing, they cannot be here because they're rehearsing. They're sort of under lock. We have invited other eliminated artists from semifinal 1 and semifinal 2. We will be confirming whether they are attending on our Instagram account, Movie Blogs, and also on our website there is a schedule, so stay tuned. If there are no artists tomorrow, we will once again do a panel of some description, so do join us. We love seeing you, honestly. And yeah, we will be back with Clemen in 11 minutes. Thank you.